Hey everyone, and welcome to the last paper that you have to do for this class. I'm going to jump right into where it is. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go to over here, and I'll show you where everything is. So if you're looking on the screen, we're at week 10, so the final week. Just a couple things that you have to do. Just make sure you watch the feedback discussion with Gen T. Start, stop, continue, and then your leadership development plan. This is the final paper. This is the culmination of everything that you've learned within the semester, and you're going to put that together. So again, we can go to the assignments page, and it will be there. It's the last assignment that you have to do. When you click on that, you're going to have a Word document, just like we've had every other time, come up, and the Word document will look like this. So again, it just kind of gets into the requirements for the paper. Please pay particular attention because this leadership development plan, if you're taking other classes in the leadership pathway here at Providence College, you're going to want to make sure that they all look alike as you go through it. So this is the only time that I'm really a stickler about the italicized, bold of things, making sure it's Times Roman numeral 12, things like that. Typically, don't care about that. But in this one, because I want them all to look alike as you go through the classes, that's just one that will make sure that we look alike. So you're going to go through it. There's three sections to this one also, just like the first paper that you did. So this has understanding of leadership. So again, here are the questions that you want to make sure that you're answering. Again, not numbering and putting just this. These are all paragraphs. You want the story to flow together. Make sure it's a story that that we can that when you read it, it reads like a story as you go through it. So, again, here's understanding of leadership. So you'll make sure that there's a header, understanding of leadership. You'll go through these. The second one is self as a leader. Again, here are some questions that you want to make sure that you're answering. And then the last one is leadership development. So you'll have three sections in this paper also. And then here's where we want to make sure. So make sure that you've italicized and bolded all the leadership concepts, ideas, and theories, just like this sentence. So what you're going to put in there, remember when we talked about the beginning of the class, that this was like learning a new language. We want to make sure that we're identifying that new language inside this paper. So make sure that you are identifying and bolding, just like that sentence, all the leadership concepts throughout the entire paper. Even if you've already done it once, you want to make sure that you're doing it and you're pulling it through the whole paper. Please be written clearly, concisely, grammatically correct. So again, make sure you run the spell check, make sure you run the grammar check, whatever program you're doing. Be structured with headings and subheadings. So again, the headings, self as leader, leadership development, understanding leadership, all those are in there. Be typed size 12 Roman numeral font, okay, double spaced. Here is the grading right in here. So again, everything is in here. So understanding leadership, 20 points. If you have all of this, you'll get that 20 points. Is self as leader. If you have all of this inside your section, you will have it. And then leadership development, again, 20 points. Employing course concepts and ideas. The amount of depth and rigor in which you employ course concepts and the ideas in your paper. So again, this is pulling through that language. Do you get what you're saying? Are you just throwing terms in there to just throw them in there? Or do you understand it? So there's 25 points there. So just make sure that you go deep on when you're explaining something and you do something. Integrity in writing, again, 15 points. Making sure this is an easy 15 points, but it's also one where I've seen people really mess up because they forget to italicize and bold. They forget to put it in Times Roman numeral 12. Things like that. You want to make sure that you do that. This paper, again, is the only one, and it's because each leadership class ends with a paper like this. And by the time you're done, you'll have a whole playbook on how you want to lead when you become a leader. So we want to make sure that they all flow from one to the other to the other. So let's just make sure that we're doing that. We're making sure that we're going through it. Make sure that you're answering all the questions. Make sure that you're putting some time and effort into this paper. Again, I don't have it has to be this long or this short type of thing. It's as long as it needs for you to get through all of this stuff. It's as short as it needs for you to get through all this stuff. I've had papers that are 6 pages. I've had papers that are 18 pages. Both of them were good work. I've also had 18 pages that were not so good, and I've had 6 pages that were not so good. So it's how you express yourself. So just make sure that you're taking the time to write this paper clearly, concisely, utilizing terms that we've had, that we've talked about throughout this semester. Make sure that you put that time and effort into it, and it'll really show in this final paper. And like I said, as you go on into other leadership classes, it will all blend together, and you'll have this nice playbook in the end. If this is the only leadership class you ever take, you're going to have a nice thing to reflect back on. You'll have your papers and your kind of presentations and other people's presentations. You'll have new ideas and concepts and a vocabulary that you'll have learned. So do that. Make sure that you submit it on Sakai on time. I'll do my best. Whatever you write, I'll read, and I'll make sure that I give you some comments back on it. It's been great having everybody in class this semester. Good luck with whatever you do, and don't forget, connect on LinkedIn. And if there's ever anything that I can do to help you in the future, make sure that we do it. All right, thank you, and I will hopefully talk to everyone soon.